Hey, what's up YouTube? It's a Blue Golf Ball here today with another Pokemon TCG Online video. And today I have for you guys a Donphan and Pyroar deck. This deck was suggested to us by Zachary Reschke, R-E-S-C-H-K-E. I apologize, I have a terrible time pronouncing names, and I just kind of give up. Anyways, Donphan, you guys all know this guy. Everyone, we've seen him plenty of times. He's been on my channel a number of times as well. It is a Stage 1 fighting type Pokemon. Donphan here is a 130 HP beast of a Pokemon. It's got the attack spinning turn for 40 damage, and you can spin right back into your deck, putting your opponent into the spin cycle. We see right here the fighting energy. Only one fighting energy to do 40 damage. And of course, you guys probably know it. It's going to be combined against EXs with Fighting Stadium. That's another 20. Another 20 for Strong Energy. And another 20 for Muscle Band. That's 100 damage in one spin. And we won't be doing any wrecking here because I'm not playing any DCEs. I typically don't really wreck that much anyways, but there's a purpose for not playing DCEs since we're already playing a bunch of Strong Energies, since Crushing Hammer exists and Enhanced Hammer exists. We're going to try to avoid that, and kind of avoiding playing DC for things like, adding more, requiring more room, right? So we're going to try to rely just on Spinning Turn and see if we can use Spinning Turn alone. That's a little bit of a test in of itself. We have Latias EX that we can spin into. It's a 160 HP Dragon-type Pokemon. It's got the ability Bright Down, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon with abilities. So that means Keldeo EX won't be able to hurt him. Darkrai EX. We got things like Empoleon. We got things like Swampert won't be able to attack Latias. But the main partner is going to be Pyroar. We're going to be running a 3-3 line of Pyroar here. It's a 110 HP Fire-type Pokemon, also Stage 1. It's got the ability Intimidating Mane, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon. So that's all EXs. That's all big non-EX basics like Cobalion, Zapdos. Those aren't even the big ones. The big ones are Zekrom and Reshiram, right? So won't be able to harm him either. We have another EX here with Aegislash EX, the 170 HP Steel or Metal type Pokemon, however you like to say it. It's going to be the ability Mighty Shield, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from each of your opponent's Pokemon that has any special energy attached to it. And that's pretty good, being able to prevent damage done to Aegislash. And I mean, hey, we can use whatever we can to use to play as walls. Now, we are going to be playing Mr. Mime. This helps out a lot with things that hit the bench, just with Bench Barrier, with this ability. Prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. That's always a good thing to do. And then we have one last wall here with Sigilif, the 90 HP Psychic-type Pokemon. It's got the ability Safeguard, preventing all attacks of damage, and including everything yada yada done to this Pokemon by EXs. So we're basically trolling EXs. I think the ones that get trolled the most is going to be the Latias EX here with the ability Bright Down. But anyways, that's it for the Pokemon line. Literally a full line right here. Let's take a look at the tool cards, item cards, and whatnot. We have Computer Search as the aspect of choice. Discard 2 cards from your hand. If you can't discard any cards from your hand, then you can't play this card. But when you do, you can search for any card in your deck. That's always really solid and very consistent. We also have Professor's Letter here, being able to search up for 2 energy cards, and that's always really good. We got 3 rollable substitutes here, really nice, just to switch into to buy some more turns. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a good card. Maybe it's not too good. It's always been paired up with Donphan. Anyways, got Silent Megaphone. We got 1 switch here. We got 3 Ultra Balls and 2 VS Seekers. For the sport line, we got Colress, got 2 Korinas for the fighting type Pokemon. We got 1 Lysander, 1 Lysander Trump card, 3 Ends, 1 Professor Birch's Observation, 4 Junipers, and 1 Skyla. I thought about playing Teammates, but we're going to stick with Skyla. We have the Fighting Stadium, 2 of these for a stadium counter, and it works pretty well to beef up the attacks against EXs. We have 3 Float Stones, that way we can continually retreat after spinning turning, and we have 3 Muscle Bands just for the Donphans, and 4 Fighting Energy, and 4 Strong Energy. That's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, looks like we're playing against Little Dark Fury, and I believe Little Dark Fury is also someone who plays Pokemon TCG Online for YouTube as well. So we have another Poke YouTuber here. Our deck will be put up to the challenge. I hope that we'll be playing against an EX deck. I think that'd be pretty nice. But anyways, let's take a look. We start off pretty interesting here. We're going to be going second. So what I want to do, I actually want to start with the Sigilif, assuming that my opponent is going to be playing EXs. I'm going to hang on to my Phanpy. Well, you know what? I'm going to hang on to it. If my opponent plays N, then hey, he plays N. Otherwise, hopefully we don't get, ideally I didn't want to get something like a Lysander or anything like that. Wow, we see the Rough Seas. Oh my goodness, we're playing against a Swirlix, and my opponent concedes the match. But we'll take the win there. That's a handful of coins for us. High fives all around. I like taking some coins. Anyways, we will be going up against, hopefully, another EX kind of deck. I think EXs with abilities is probably going to be the best scenario for us. If we can run into EXs with abilities, we got it all covered. Now, it would be even worse if we're playing against EXs with abilities with special energies. That's going to be the full gambit. We have all our bases covered that way, but if not, then we'll have to work with what we got. The worst matchups would be if we were to play against stage 1s or stage 2s that don't rely on abilities. So, like non-EXs. So even if we went up against, we start off with an Aegis Lash. Even if we went up against like Megas, we can always spin into Sigilif. That's always an option for us. If we ran into like Empoleon, all right, we can switch into the Latias, right? If we ran into decks that uses Rainbow Energy, stuff like that, we can always switch into Aegis Slash. So, oh boy, we're playing against the Manectric EX here. This is not a very good start for us. I'm going to go with the N. I think I have a strong energy that I'd like to hang on to. If I can get Pyroar going, that would be pretty sweet, but seeing the Manectric, I'm going to be assuming that my opponent plays Mega Manectric EX. We see the Darkness Energy, and my opponent using the Professor's Letter. We see the Darkness Energy. We see a Lightning Energy drop over here. We see a Verbank City Gem. We see a Hypnotoxic Laser hitting for heads. Oh boy, this Aegis Slash is going to be a punching bag. And I've got to wait and see if I can get the Donphan going. That would be spectacular. And I would definitely just go home and cry tonight of tears of joy and happiness. Anyways, we're going to counter the stadium. Obviously, I'm not going to be crying, but we have the end. I'm going to play that, and oh boy, we start off with a little Robo substitute here. Not much going for us here, and I'm going to end up retreating into the Robo substitute. That way we can ease the pain from the poison at the very least. And that's going to be it. My opponent can still hit us for an overrun. Otherwise, my opponent can actually play an energy, play a Lysander, and hit us for 120 damage off of the Assault Laser because we have a trainer card. We got a tool card here. We got the Floatstone attached to our Aegis Slash EX. If my opponent pulls that off, that would be, that would just hurt my very inner being. My soul will be in pain. Oh my goodness, we see an escape rope. We could see something like a switch again. That would be pretty cool, but hopefully we don't see something like that. Anyways, my opponent plays an N. I don't mind that at all. We get a Skyla that we can play for an Ultra Ball. At least get the Ultra Ball going. Ooh, we see a Darkrai EX. We could still see something like the Retreat with the Eviltal. There's no energies in my opponent's discard pile. We could see us get hit for 50 and then not adding any energy. Unless my opponent plays an Ultra Ball from his hand, discarding something else. But nope, all we see is 50. So the Aegis Slash is definitely just going to be bait, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. But anyways, we're going to promote the little Robo substitute here. I really need to get the Donphan going. So let's go ahead. We're actually gonna go for the Ultra Ball here. That's probably the the best choice for myself, I think. I can always play an N, but my opponent's got 4 cards. And let's go ahead. We'll discard the Juniper, and let's just go ahead. We will even discard the VS Seeker. Let's go ahead and get the Phanpy out. I think that's pretty good. Phanpy here would be able to take on the energy, and so here we go. We'll do that. Hopefully we don't get Lysandered. In the next turn, we should be able to evolve. I only have a 4-card hand, and so you know what would be really nice right now? If my opponent played Starling Megaphone. If my opponent played Starling Megaphone, I would be more than happy to accept it at this time, because most likely what I'm going to do is play VS Seeker and play VS Seeker for the Juniper, get a fresh hand, and I'll end up discarding my Float Stone for nothing, because I'd rather have the I'd much rather have a Muscle Band on the Donphan than anything else. But anyways, my opponent does not play it. And here we go. I do get a Professor Birch's Observation. Now, the trick is, I don't want to take anything up for risks. I would rather just use the VS Seeker now. And let's just go ahead. We'll play it for the Juniper. Don't want to deal with anything here. No need to play Float Stone. A little bit tragic there. But you know what? Let's go ahead. We're going to play the Juniper. And we get a Latias. That's not going to be really good for us. Right now, the Aegislash is just going to be taking hits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's just get rid of the Karina. And let's take a look at all our cards here. I'm wondering if I have another VS Seeker. I only play 2, and so I think that's 2 of them already in the discard pile. What I'd like to do is give me a shot to play Lysander's trump card at the very least. So let's go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to get out the Litleo, and at some point I'd like to evolve into the Pyroar, and being able to spinning turn into it would be absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead. We'll go over the spinning turn, hitting for only 20 damage because of that resistance, and here we go. We'll switch into the Aegislash. My opponent can definitely play a Startling Megaphone at this point. We already burned our Float Stone. We have 1 left, and we lost 2 of our VS Seekers. Times like these, I wish we played 3 VS Seekers. But what I'm going to do is probably just go for the Lysander trump card. My opponent using I think that was an Ultra Ball, getting rid of the Lysander trump card and also the Headringer. Oh boy, we see the Seismitoad EX. All right, so times like these, I really want to get the I need to get that Pyroar going. So if I can get Pyroar, that would be absolutely awesome. So here we go. My opponent is without a hand. What I'd like to do is just go for the Karina. And oh my goodness, we get a Muscle Band. I think at this time, ooh, man. Okay, tough decision. Very tough decision. What do I want to do here? Do I want to play Lysander's trump card? Do I want to play Karina? A couple options here. I can play Karina for the Pyroar. I wouldn't be able to get. I'll be using the. Yeah, this is not looking good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to go with the Lysander's trump card. And let's go ahead. We'll just trump card everything. And there we go. Let's go with the retreat, and we'll hit for 40 at the very least. My opponent is without a hand. I'm going to play Juniper in the next turn, and the Aegislash will get knocked out, I guess. You know what? We're going to promote. Let's promote the Phanpy here. This is kind of a bad choice, but it is what it is. So what I want to do is I want to play the Karina, and oh my goodness, the Phanpy gets Hypnotoxic lasered. And that's the second laser already. So off this Juniper, hopefully we can draw into another Donphan. The reason why I went with the Phanpy is because, oh, never mind. The Seismitoad comes out anyway. And there goes our items. We are absolutely locked on items. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. We get a Mr. Mime. We also get a Sigilif, which can buy us some turns as well. And I'm going to go ahead. We'll just power up this Donphan here. And let's go with the Mr. Mime. We do have a Robo Substitute. I'm going to play the Mr. Mime mostly for Darkrai and mostly for in case we see an overrun with Manectric. And that's it. We're going to end the turn. And we do end up getting knocked out. I'm going to go ahead and just play the Sigilif. My opponent is without a hand. Hopefully my opponent doesn't top deck anything. And we do have a Juniper here. I do have the Karina as well. We can play for another Phanpy and grab another item that we won't be able to use. But right here, I really didn't want to play. I didn't want to play the Donphan. Why? Because we could see something. If my opponent top decked a Juniper, look at that. We see the Vert makes any gem. If my opponent had a Hypnotoxic Laser, my opponent could have done, a ton of damage to my Donphan plus poison. Anything could have happened, right? So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play Juniper. We could play Karina and get another Phanpy out, but that's all we'd be doing. So let's go ahead. We will go with this. I do have this energy here, which we can retreat with. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to burn the retreat. The next turn, I'm going to play Juniper anyways. And so we're going to play and pay the energy cost. I can see here it looks like the game froze a little bit. And the Sigilif would be going for the retreat. And let's go ahead. We'll just retreat into the Donphan. We're going to go ahead and do a spinning turn onto the Seismitoad right into the Sigilif. Hopefully my opponent doesn't top deck a Lysander. It's a shame my Donphan, my Phanpy was knocked out. I didn't see that coming. My opponent goes for a Hypnotoxic Laser, was able to flip heads. And this could be a huge turning point for us. Meaning the Sigilif can actually pile on 60 damage in between turns. It actually can get knocked out by flip heads, and we stay asleep. So my my poor little Sigilif will get knocked out. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna power up. I'm gonna just add some energy here. I'm gonna go ahead. We'll just play. Do I want to play another Litleo? I don't. And let's go. We'll just play the Juniper, and wow, we get stuck into a really terrible hand. I will pass out after this turn, but I will be able to hit the Seismitoad, and after that, I mean, I could play the Professor Birch's Observation. I just need another energy. If we can play that onto the Pyroar, that would be fantastic. Let's take a look at my discard pile. We have one VA Seeker in there, meaning we can still get things back if we can pull this off. So here we go. My opponent hits us, and poor Sigilif gets knocked out. Let's see here. The Aegislash might get knocked out if my opponent has Hypnotoxic Laser, or if my opponent has really anything. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to play the Professor Birch's Observation. No, you know what? I'm just going to hang on my hand. I'm going to go for the spinning turn. And at some point, so let's go ahead. We will actually spin. I'm going to take a chance here. We're going to spin into the Aegislash. All right. If my opponent doesn't get a Muscle Band, if my opponent doesn't get a Hypnotoxic Laser, the Aegislash will survive the turn, and we will be able to retreat. It's pretty tragic that the Sigilif stayed asleep. I hate Hypnotoxic Lasers. I really do. Anyways, my opponent gets rid of my strong energy, but I should be able to, if my opponent doesn't knock out the Aegislash here, I would be able to still knock out the Seismitoad at the very least, and we can always go with that. So anyways, my opponent gets an Aegislash of his own on his side of the field, which is good for me. That's actually really good that he discarded my strong energy. Now I can actually attack the Aegislash. So I'll have to shake my opponent's hand for that. We see a Lysander. My opponent won't be able to knock out the Donphan though. And that's it. Only 60 damage. And we will go ahead and let's just go with the spinning turn. And that's it. We're going to spin into the Pyroar. Nothing here should be able to hurt him. And oh boy, we took out the Seismitoad. We even get a Phanpy. And the Pyroar is out here with the intimidating main. Nothing on my opponent's side of the field can take him out unless my opponent plays Lysander and brings out the Donphan, or if my opponent can evolve the Manectric here into the Mega Manectric. Otherwise, this is why we brought Pyroar. This is why he's on the team. This is the very purpose, his very purpose, that he is on this lineup. And Pyroar is shining in his moment right now, basking in his glory, being able to intimidate all these little basics. Well, they're not really little, but these basics here. And we see the Yveltal being able to get an energy back if there was an energy, but I'm really lucky that my opponent is drawing dead and not drawing anything whatsoever. Even Mr. Mime here is having his day against the Darkrai. Being able to protect the bench is absolutely fabulous. My opponent hits us for 0 and does not get any energy back. So we have a lot going for us here, folks. A ton going for us. And I'm going to go ahead and just power up this Donphan here. I'm going to go and here's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead. We will get rid of this Pyroar. And I'm going to get rid of this Professor Birch's Observation. I'm going to go with the Floatstone here. I'm just going to play it onto the Pyroar. And what I actually want to do is I'm just going to start discarding some things. Let's go ahead. We will play this here. And I'm going to go and let's take a look here. Let's grab at least another energy. Oh, there are no more energies. And okay, so let's play my hand down. What I'm going to do is play a Lysander's trump card. We lost a lot of resources that I want to get back. Technically, I don't want to see that Seismitoad back either. But my opponent has only one card, and so what I want to do is make it more difficult for my opponent to draw into supporters. So as you can see my opponent's hand, he has a Lysander and a Lysander trump card. We do see the Seismitoad and a DCE. If I can shuffle my opponent's hand back in, we would see 2 lasers. But I'm down to 13 cards, and I want to play Juniper in the next turn, and that would be pretty bad. So let's go ahead. We will just go with the Lysander trump card now, and kind of see if we can disrupt my opponent from drawing anything. And all right, we will go with the retreat here, and we'll retreat into the Donphan. Donphan going for the spinning turn. That's not enough to take him out, but hey, we got the Pyroar here. Pyroar with the intimidating main. I have a Phanpy here as a backup to deal with the Aegislash. That way, at some point, if I can evolve and we can counter the stadium, we can at least play a basic energy on this Phanpy. Off of this Juniper, we can evolve, find a Donphan, and then we'll have this Phanpy as a backup. We have a damaged Donphan here, but I think we should be fine. Oh boy, we see an Yveltal EX. That's pretty troublesome there. My opponent doesn't have much of anything else. We go with the Juniper, and here is that Donphan I was talking about. And I'll even play the regular energy here on this Donphan to deal with the Aegislash over here. Let's go ahead. We will retreat into this Donphan, and we'll go with the spinning turn. And let's bring out the Pyroar. My opponent here is really drawing dead, and I almost feel sorry. This is the way we're going to have to win. I'm not going to play an N, giving my opponent 4 cards, and we'll have to wait and see. If my opponent if my opponent can top deck a Juniper or top deck an N, maybe. Ooh, a Juniper would be really nice right about now for my opponent. But anyways, this would be a funny matchup if we had Latias here with Barrier Break. If we were able to do Barrier Break and we were up against an Aegislash, that would be so funny because Aegislash has the Mighty Shield and Latias has the Bright Down. And then Barrier Break would actually go through Aegislash even if we had the special energies and stuff like that. So here we go. We have a couple options here. Can play a Muscle Band. I'm actually going to hang on to that in case my opponent plays Starting the Megaphone. And I'm actually going to hang on to this Strong Energy as well in case my opponent uses another Enhanced Hammer. So, I don't know. We could just go aggressive, but that's, you know, I mean, I could play it now, and that's going to be 2 Strong Energies that are be gone, and oh, okay, fine. Let's just play it. And so, all right, let's just play it. We'll go over the spinning turn. We can take out this Yveltal in 2 hits. We're gonna go with the Pyroar here. If my opponent plays 2 enhanced hammers, that would be pretty devastating. We'll still be able to chip away the Yveltal, but oh boy, here is the Manectric EX getting the Manectric Spirit Link. So right about now, I mean, I'm not too concerned about anything whatsoever. Let's go ahead. We'll just retreat, just kind of go on our merry way. Hopefully nothing ridiculous happens. My opponent can always get a Juniper, or can always get who knows what my opponent can get. But anyways, we draw. I think, what did we draw into? Did we draw into a Pyroar? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. But here we go. Here's the Aegislash. If we can get that Fighting Stadium, that would be really nice. But the Aegislash here is going to be getting powered up here. We could see a Slash Blast from the past. I'm kidding. But nothing else. I don't think the Aegislash wouldn't be able to hurt the Pyroar anyway. So let's go ahead. We're going to get another Donphan going. And you know, the funny thing is, we can, with 1 more energy, we can actually wreck. But so for now, let's just go ahead. We'll go with this Donphan here, and let's go with the spinning turn, hitting for 60. 2 more spinning turns should be able to do the trick. That would be a knockout on this Aegislash, and we'll have to wait and see. My opponent would still need a Lysander out, either this Aegislash or this Donphan, and my opponent would be able to do with a Metal Energy. Oh boy, my opponent plays an N. Hey, we get N into our Strong Energy. Isn't that great? And the sad thing is, our Donphan on the bench won't be able to even touch this Aegislash. That's a bit of a pity. But our Pyroar here is getting the job done here, folks. We have yet to see the Mega Manectric. The Mega Manectric can actually one-shot the Pyroar and also get this Darkness Energy back onto the Darkrai or the Yveltal. And times like these, oh, we even see a Hypnotoxic Laser. Thank goodness we didn't fall asleep. Even if we were, you know, to sleep, we have the Karina that can get the switch. And so that's always good news for us. Our discard pile is in great shape. We only have 2 Junipers and a Latias as well as the Pyroar. This is a very good shape for us. Our deck is really healthy here. good 31 cards. We can always thin it out a little bit by playing Karina. We could even thin it out more by playing Karina for a computer search, and then playing the computer search in the next turn for a Juniper. That's definitely an option. But anyways, we don't really see too much here from my opponent. We could see an energy drop that wouldn't really help my opponent's case. And there we go, my opponent is inactive, and Cammy gave my opponent 5 seconds out of the 15, I think roughly about 5 seconds. And my opponent here can still do a number of things. We could see something like if my opponent was able to play a bicycle, maybe if he has a bicycle, I don't know, it could top deck an Ultra Ball, evolve, and then wouldn't be able to retreat. And so, that's it, passes the turn. And we get a Lysander here. This is going to be GG. I'm going to bring out here. Before I do that, I'm just going to let my opponent know, GG, good sir. And let's go ahead. I'm actually going to bring out the Manectric before it evolves. And let's go ahead. We'll retreat. And not to add insult to injury, but I just want to see this. Let's go with the wreck here. 440 damage. Oh, man, that was kind of mean. But there you have it, folks. That was the Donphan Pyroar deck. Wow, was Pyroar impressive in this matchup. Pyroar, only thing Pyroar sustained was a little bit of a poison burn, a little bit of a poison damage from that Verbank City Gem and Hypnotoxic Laser. That's all he took. Otherwise, this was really nicely done. With that last attack, we were able to crack 1,000 damage, so great win for the Donphan deck with Pyroar. High fives all around. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video and you guys like it. Give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And again, if you guys have any other deck ideas, shoot them my way and I'll see to if I can build them. Ideally, if you guys have ideas for Roaring Skies, that'll be pretty good, but that'll be coming up. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. You guys take care. See you later. Goodbye.